Hello, I'm Chef Leanne. I live and work in the fabulous Florida Keys. Today, I have the privilege of being at the Sea Glass House here on Key Colony Beach, the gem of the Florida Keys. We're going to be sticking with the pinks, the Key West pinks today, but I'm going to start off doing a very simple crostini, and then I'm going to do a fantastic paella, Valencia style paella, that I'm going to add the Key West pinks to at the end. And then we're going to sit outside on this beautiful ocean and we're going to eat the paella. I'm going to start with the crostinis. I've got them in a cast iron skillet. And I'm just toasting them up. Don't want it too crunchy. You still want it to be nice and soft in the middle. I use my own bread when I'm doing the crostinis or bruschetta because it gives it a much better texture when you bite into it. All right. Plate that. I'm using burrata. You can do this with ricotta cheese. Burrata is a mozzarella and it usually comes in a ball like this. And what I did is I just chopped it up so that it was really, really fine. So like I said, you could use the burrata. I personally like it and I use it for all of my crostinis and my bruschettas. But you can use ricotta if you prefer. There's a creaminess to this that just, I think, makes the crostinis much, much better. All right, and then I'm going to use Florida Keys honey. We have a lot of beehives here in the Keys, and I'm going to use one of our local because I like sourcing local. And I'm drizzling that on the top of the burrata. All right, and then I'm going to give it a really cool spin, which everybody's just going to go, wow. I'm going to put on some peppercorn. I've got a mixed melody of peppers. I've got green peppercorn, black peppercorn, and pink because we're all about the pink. All right, that'll do it. Told you it's a simple dish, done in seconds, and it's a first start for our course before we have the paella. A crostini on homemade bread that I toasted in a cast iron skillet, topped it with a little bit of creamy burrata, local honey drizzled on top, and some fresh peppercorn. Okay, so we're going to be doing our paella on the deck of this beautiful sea glass house on Key Colony Beach. I'm doing a Valencia style paella. I had the great privilege of walking the Camino in Spain, and I stopped in the village of Puente and stayed at the albergue called Marguerite. And there was Miguel there, and he was a chef, and he made this paella. And so I watched every single step he was making. So it's very, very authentic Valencia paella. Of course, I'm going to be adding the Caribbean spin by adding the chorizo and the Key West pink shrimp. All right, so we're going to start with a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to put the pink in, get it started. I don't know if you could see how pink this shrimp is while it's cooking here in the pan. Okay, I want to add a little bit. I use Cajun spice. It's not traditional, but like I said, I like adding a little bit of a spin to the dish. And then you have to have paprika. I'm using a smoked Spanish paprika. Okay, just give that a little bit of a flip. Now I don't want my shrimp to overcook, so I'm going to take it out of the pan and finish it off on the top of the paella when it's done. All right. shrimp is so easily cooked, so make sure you only do it a minute on each side. Really, that's all it needs. Next, I'm going to add some chorizo sausage. Paella can be done in so many different variations. It can be, at this point, you could add some chicken thighs or chicken legs or breasts, whatever you want, with the chorizo. You can do Florida lobster and put it in, the same as I did the shrimp. You can even do, if you have fresh caught fish, do fillets of fish. And you would want to do that again the same way, is cook it ahead of time just to give it a really good sear, and then remove it, because you wouldn't want to overcook fish. Now if you're doing the chicken, you can leave that in, because the longer the chicken is in there, the better it is. Okay, now I'm going to add my onions, green peppers, and garlic. Get that garlic in there. If you were a vegetarian and doing a paella, leave out the chorizo and just do the shrimp. I've even seen it where people put figs in it, believe it or not. And they saute the fig the same way I did the shrimp, and they would take it out. When you're doing a paella, you want to have a really good rice to do this with. I'm using a basmati rice. And I'm just going to cook this for a little bit to get the rice to open up a little bit. The heat will get those little kernels to open and pick up all these flavors. I've got some white wine. So I just want to cook the wine off a little bit so that you don't get the burst of alcohol, but you still get the really good flavors. Isn't this view behind me spectacular? Like I said, I'm on the island of Key Colony Beach, which is the gem of the Florida Keys, and I do a ton of private chefing on this little island, and this is what I get to do every day at these beautiful homes with this as my backdrop. I'm a lucky girl. All right, so my wine has reduced and burned off. I'm gonna add in my chicken broth. Now at this point, it's important that you don't stir the paella. You want to get a crust on the bottom, and that's when you know that you make really good paella, is it when you have that crust there. It's called a sucreta. I'm not Spanish, so I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. And at this point, I don't want to stir it. I'm going to garnish it with a little bit of these peas. And I've got some sliced green peppers. And then I'm going to put the shrimp back on it when it's about halfway done. When this rice is almost absorbed all of the liquid, then I'm going to go ahead and put the rice on it. But for now, it needs to cook. It's going to take about a half an hour to 45 minutes for it to cook. And like I said, you don't want to touch it, you don't want to stir. So we're going to give it some time to cook now. All right, so my paella is done, and I'm going to be serving it to my guests here at the table at the beautiful sea glass house I want to give a shout out to Brutus Seafood. And if you're interested in ordering any of these beautiful Key West pinks, you can order it from Florida Keys Seafood Shipping Company, located here in Marathon, Florida. If you want to reach out to me, I can be reached at my website, Clouds and My Coffee Catering, or my Facebook, Instagram account. And hey, if you want a vacation rental here in the Florida Keys, please contact Island Breezes Real Estate. Come on guys, let's go ahead and do a little toast. Ching ching.
Ching ching. Hi, I'm Joe Grego with Island Breeze Vacations. Island Breeze manages vacation rental properties in Marathon, Key Colony Beach, and Grassy Key. We have everything from modest condominiums to luxury vacation rentals with views like this. We are locally owned and operated, and we want you to experience the Florida Keys like the locals do. To book your vacation today, call Island Breeze.